distinguished guests, and men and women of the finest military in the world. And most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah, Michael, and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's...
Imagine your husband, the most powerful man in the world, standing on stage and slipping, not once, but several times, calling you by another name. Not just any name, but a man's name. That's exactly what people claim Barack Obama did during his presidency and even after. Over the years, small slips where he called Michelle Michael or Mike have been clipped, replayed, and dissected. To some, it was nothing more than innocent error, but to others, it was a tell, an accidental reveal of something bigger lurking beneath the polished image of the Obama marriage. Now Jaguar Wright has returned to the conversation, digging into these whispers and asking the messy questions most won't touch. She's reigniting an old storm. Was Joan Rivers dropping truth when she shaded Michelle Obama before her shocking death? Because back then, Joan didn't mince words. She laughed, she smirked, and she said it plain. Michelle was trans, and everybody in Hollywood already knew it. Most people dismissed it as one of Joan's provocative jokes. But then Joan suddenly passed away not long after. That timing left a lingering unease.
Keep the noise levels up.
Want to make sure he knows we're coming, or she.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if she's got some cubs, that's when you really got to worry.
Yeah. You know what my kids asked me? They said, you've got to ask the president, does anything scare him?
You know, well, when when Michelle's mad, I get worried.
A sense that maybe she had gotten too close to saying the quiet part out loud. See, the thing about rumors is that they don't just vanish. They linger, waiting for someone bold enough or reckless enough to give them oxygen again. And in this case, Jaguar Wright has no fear of fanning those flames. She has leaned into the speculation, pulling together receipts, alleged documents, and testimonials that paint Michelle Obama not as the woman the world reveres, but as someone hiding an entirely different truth. One of the most shocking claims comes from Dr. Rafael Espinazo, who allegedly had medical contact with Michelle during the 2008 presidential campaign. He supposedly confessed that Michelle was not biologically female, claiming he saw something firsthand that no press release, no photo op, and no crafted speech could erase. He spoke of being paid for his silence, but later said he could no longer carry the weight after what he believed had been done to the country. Whether fabricated or real, the alleged testimony spread like wildfire online, feeding the narrative that Michelle wasn't who she claimed to be. But the rumors don't stop with one doctor.
Ms. Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we
president?
already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
Conspiracy corners have circulated documents that supposedly showed Michelle registered to vote as a male until 2008, the very year Barack launched his presidential run. The timing, according to critics, was too neat, too convenient. Then you have Barack's half-brother, Malik Obama, stirring the pot himself. Malik has taken to social media multiple times, joking or maybe not joking that Michelle is really Michael, nicknaming her Big Mike and hinting that the family itself carries suspicions. His words carry weight because family feuds are different. They feel closer to the bone. And then there's the family narrative. The Obamas have wedding photos, yes, but critics point out that there are no pregnancy photos of Michelle. The earliest public images of Malia and Sasha show them as toddlers, years after they were supposedly born. The official story is that Michelle conceived through IVF, but rumor mongers argue otherwise. They point fingers at Dr. Anita Blanchard and Martin Nesbitt, close friends of the Obamas, claiming they are the real parents of the Obama daughters. Photos of the two families vacationing together in Hawaii have been used as alleged proof of this arrangement, suggesting that the true story of the Obama children has been carefully stage-managed from the beginning. When Joan Rivers made her infamous comment, maybe she wasn't joking after all. Maybe she was dropping tea only insiders dared whisper about. That's the theory floating in conspiracy circles. And when Joan died suddenly after what was supposed to be a routine procedure, those same circles buzzed with suspicion. Was it just tragic timing? Or was it punishment for saying the wrong thing at the wrong time? Joan wasn't the only one to hint that Michelle's story wasn't what it seemed. Over the years, figures like Deanna Lorraine, Stu Peters, and even Chelsea Clinton in a since-deleted tweet have made sly comments about Michelle's identity. Each time, the speculation reignited, refusing to die out. The whispers only grew darker with the tragic story of Tafari Campbell.
People think I'm being catty by saying this. It's like there were 10 years when I couldn't stand my husband. You know?
do say that. You say
10 long
10
years. And guess when it happened? When those kids were little, right?
Yes.
Right? Because, you know, you can be all great individually when you're just married. You got your life, he's got his, you come together. It's all, ooh, good to see you, bye, take it easy. And then you have kids.
Not take it easy.
Take it easy, you're traveling, that's great, good. I get to hang out and watch the TV I wanna watch.
Right.
But the minute we had kids, it was like, where are you going? And how far? And you start measuring, it's like, how many diapers did you change? And, oh, you're golfing?
Tafari wasn't just any chef. He was the White House chef during Barack's presidency and later became the Obama family's personal chef. He was part of their world, trusted enough to move from the public kitchen into the private home. In 2012, he was even featured in official White House videos. But in 2023, Tafari drowned in shallow water while paddleboarding near the Obama's Martha's Vineyard estate. Official reports called it an accident. No life vest, no leash, just a tragic fall and a failed attempt to stay afloat. But that explanation never sat right with many. Reports surfaced of head injuries, of water less than 4 feet deep, of hours passing before 911 was called. Some claimed Tafari was working on a tell-all book before his death, and when the autopsy was allegedly handled by a personal Obama coroner, suspicions grew louder. Online, whispers turned into outright claims. Tafari knew too much, and his accident was no accident at all. To this day, his death remains a sore spot for those who believe the Obamas operate with more secrecy than anyone realizes. Jaguar Wright taps directly into these suspicions. She doesn't just repeat rumors, she frames them as part of a pattern, a larger system of silencing those who come too close to the truth. To her, Joan Rivers wasn't joking. Tafari Campbell wasn't just unlucky, and Michelle Obama's carefully crafted image isn't the full story. Jaguar has gone as far as to suggest that Barack's alleged infidelities aren't about simple cheating, they're about seeking validation outside of a marriage that, in her view, isn't what the world thinks it is. That's the fire Jaguar plays with, the ability to connect dots others are too afraid to even acknowledge. And the dangerous part? Once the dots are connected in the public's imagination, it doesn't matter if the receipts are airtight. Perception becomes reality. This is why Michelle Obama remains such a lightning rod for these rumors. She is more than a former First Lady. She is a global symbol of elegance, intellect, and empowerment. Her book, Becoming, sold millions. Her Netflix deals have cemented her as a cultural powerhouse, and she is admired worldwide. But in the world of conspiracies, the brighter the light, the darker the shadows it casts. Michelle's success, her seemingly flawless story, makes her the perfect subject for speculation. Because if someone as celebrated as Michelle Obama is hiding a secret, then what does that say about the system that elevated her? And here's where things twist even tighter. In an era when people are questioning every institution, from politics to media to Hollywood, the Obamas are not immune. They've become the focus of not just admiration, but also suspicion. The narrative that Michelle might be hiding her true identity plays into larger conspiratorial themes about deception, elite power, and hidden agendas. For those eager to believe, every slip of the tongue, every missing photo, every tragic accident is fuel for the fire. Jaguar Wright knows this. That's why her voice hits so hard. She has lived inside the industry's darkest corners. She has no brand to protect, no empire to lose. When she says, "The rumors aren't just smoke, they might be fire," her words land with people who already distrust the official story. And once those seeds are planted, they grow wild. The Obamas themselves rarely address these whispers. They operate above them, choosing silence as their shield. But silence can be interpreted in many ways. To their supporters, it's dignity. To their critics, it's confirmation. And that's the dangerous game of perception. They don't have to say anything for the rumors to keep spreading. So what does all this mean? At its core, this isn't just about whether Michelle is or isn't who people say she is. It's about the way power operates in America. It's about who gets to tell the story and who gets silenced. Joan Rivers told a story and she's gone. Tafari Campbell allegedly had a story and he's gone too. Jaguar Wright is still here, still talking, still daring. And as long as she speaks, the whispers around Michelle Obama will continue to echo, because in today's climate, rumors don't need proof to survive. They just need voices willing to repeat them. And as long as names like Jaguar Wright are out there fanning the flames, Michelle Obama will remain caught in the crossfire of speculation, suspicion, and scandal. It's a messy accusation, but in the world of celebrity gossip, mess is what fuels speculation. And when the conversation turns to the Obamas, every whisper carries more weight than it might for anyone else. The storylines that swirl around them aren't just about politics, they're about image, power, and the myth of a perfect marriage, which is why rumors of cheating, affairs, and even divorce hit so much harder when they land at their doorstep. Let's start with Vera Baker. Long before Barack Obama was a global icon, before the presidency, before the Nobel Prize, there was a Senate campaign in 2004, and at the heart of that campaign was a young, ambitious woman named Vera, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes. She wasn't just another staffer, she raised millions in contributions, coordinated strategy, and was by Obama's side through the grind. It didn't take long before whispers suggested that their relationship may have been more than professional. According to the gossip mill, Barack and Vera grew close, too close. Allegedly, there was even a late-night rendezvous at the Hotel George in Washington, D.C., complete with a taxi driver's testimony that he had seen them enter together. The Globe ran with it, plastering headlines like "Cheating Scandal Erupts" and "Secret Video Could Destroy Presidency." Suddenly, a quiet campaign worker became the center of a potential bombshell that could derail a political career. Of course, Vera denied it all. She said the story was planted by political enemies. She even filed a lawsuit against the publication, saying they had deliberately tried to smear her name and drag her into a scandal that never happened. The lawsuit painted her as collateral damage in a ruthless political game. And maybe she was. But as with all rumors, denial doesn't always erase suspicion. It only adds more questions. If the story was false, why did it hit so hard? Why did it stick? Was Vera silenced, paid off, or was she truly just the victim of dirty politics? Because here's the thing, even though the Globe backed off and Vera disappeared from headlines, the whispers never really stopped. Every time Michelle spoke candidly about her marriage struggles, people connected the dots back to Vera. Every time Barack was spotted alone on the golf course or away on long trips, conspiracy forums dredged her name back up. Some even claimed she was quietly exiled, sent overseas to keep her far from the spotlight and further from the man whose image was being built into legend. Fast forward to the present and the rumors have evolved. It's not just Vera anymore. It's a growing stack of claims about Barack stepping out, about Michelle reaching a breaking point, about the cracks in the foundation of what was sold to America as the perfect couple. Michelle herself has admitted publicly that their marriage wasn't all sunshine. She said there were years, 10 of them to be exact, when she could barely stand Barack. Those were the years when the kids were young, when diapers, sleepless nights, and career sacrifices weighed heavily on her shoulders while Barack was consumed by politics. Michelle described those years as brutal. She resented the imbalance. She counted how many diapers she changed compared to him. She noticed how he found time for the gym, for golf, for his career, while she carried the bulk of the home. She confessed that she wanted to leave, that she fantasized about walking away from the marriage altogether. For any ordinary couple, this would just be relatable honesty. But for the Obamas, for the pair who built their legacy on the image of strength, partnership, and unity, it was shocking. It validated years of whispers that behind the smiles and hand-holding were real fractures. And that's where Joan Rivers comes back into the story. Her infamous comment about Michelle being trans was shocking on its own. But now, in the context of marital strain, rumors of cheating, and Michelle's own admissions of unhappiness, Joan's words feel like part of a larger narrative. One where comedy and shade overlap with unsettling truths. Was she just joking, or was she exposing something she knew the rest of the world wasn't ready to hear? Jaguar Wright has been relentless in reviving these questions. She suggests that the Obama's marriage is not what it appears to be, that their partnership is more about politics and image than about love. And she doesn't stop there. Jaguar has hinted that the Obamas have gone to extreme lengths to silence people who get too close to their truth. She points to Joan's sudden death after making her comments. She points to Tafari Campbell's mysterious drowning. She frames them not as coincidences, but as patterns, evidence of what happens when you cross the wrong people. Now add the divorce rumors. In the last few years, gossip blogs and tabloids have whispered that the Obamas may be quietly heading for separation. Michelle's candidness about how difficult their marriage was, about how often she considered leaving, only added fuel. Every time she released a memoir or gave a talk show interview, people mined her words for hints. 10 years I couldn't stand him. I almost left. It was hard. Those words, meant to show resilience, have been twisted into ammunition for those claiming the marriage has already collapsed or is on the verge of it. It's the perfect storm of speculation. On one side, you have the affair rumors with Vera Baker lingering despite denials. On another, you have Michelle herself admitting she wanted out at one point. Layer onto that Joan Rivers comment. Jaguar Wright's conspiracies, and the tragic coincidence surrounding those who spoke out, and suddenly, the Obama's carefully curated image of unity feels less unshakable. So, were Joan Rivers' comments really just comedy? Was Jaguar Wright simply chasing clout, or do they know things the rest of the world doesn't? Could there be truth hidden in the smoke of gossip and rumor? And what about Vera Baker? Did she really disappear because of a lie, or was she forced into silence by a machine far bigger than her? The questions pile up. Did Barack really step out of his marriage? Did Michelle really want to end it all those years ago? Have the Obamas kept secrets darker than anyone dares admit? Or is this all just the price of fame? Being forced to live under the shadow of rumors that will never die? The truth may never be known, but one thing is certain: the whispers aren't going away. Every new revelation, every resurfaced rumor, every candid word from Michelle or bold claim from Jaguar Wright adds another layer to the puzzle. And whether it's gossip or reality, the story of the Obamas' marriage remains one of the most dissected, speculated, and controversial tales in modern American history.